Here we go. The history
was questioned. Their toughness was questioned. How hard will they play was questioned. All those questions have been answered. Carolina's won 10 out of their last 12. They've had
early on, he was settling, put the ball on the deck, felt pretty good about it, but just stepping up, getting them organized.
What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of East News Tar Heel Basketball. It's that time of year again where the Tar Heels have to prove that they are the dominant team of North Carolina, and we did that last year in dominant fashion. Hubert Davis gave Coach K 2 pity handshakes, sent him on his way packing, retired him. They gave us no chance, and we came through of a city with a season full of adversity to prove that we could still be a blue blood, to prove that, you know, Coach Davis was ready to take over for Roy Williams. And yeah, they had all the one and dones, they had all the hype, they had the story, but guess what? We closed that story the way we wanted to do it. And yeah, so now it's time to move on to the next season, even though we killed the rivalry last year. I mean, they have a lot of work to do to get those 2 wins back, but it's up to John Schyers, the new head coach of Duke basketball, former 2010 champion, to come in and do his thing. He's a young coach, he has a young team, and it'll be very interesting to see how he compares to Coach K, both, you know, what he does differently as well as what he has kept and what he does the same. You know, the brotherhood, as they say, is not the Carolina way. We've always had a Carolina way, so now it's their time to prove, you know, what Duke basketball is. And I haven't seen that thus far in watching their games. They're not as good as they've been, but it's expected. He also didn't have any coaching experience similar to Coach Davis, but I don't think he has the same success. So with that said, let's get into some of these player matchups. First off, we got RJ Davis versus Jeremy Roach, the battle of the point guards. Jeremy Roach is a pretty solid player. He's a junior. He came in the same year as Caleb and RJ. He's a strong defensive-minded player. He likes to slash. His main things are that he has good ball handling and he's pretty quick. He's strong as well for a guard. So we're going to need to keep him out of the lane. It'll be very important for RJ to keep him out of the lane. Can he shoot? He can make shots. He's a gamer, so he'll hit the big shots, and that's the important thing, is to make sure that he's not in rhythm and just take him out of those positions where he needs to save Duke. Keep him out of the lane, like I said, that way he can't carve us up with his passing ability, as well as so that he doesn't drive on us and just make mid-range shots. So hopefully we know his game by now, we can solve him, and I think that RJ at the end of the day does have the advantage in this matchup. I give RJ the advantage just because RJ is a more dynamic player. When RJ gets going, especially this season, he's been just a consistently good guard for us. He's been our most consistent guard. He's an elite scorer. He can shoot, floater, push the pace. He's been doing a lot better at pushing the pace actually this season, getting into his spots with the stop and pop. So that's why I have to give RJ the advantage here, just to be able to slash through and knife through like he always does. And I just really love his jump shot this year. And we're going to need it. We're going to definitely need to hit a lot of shots, and he's going to have to take advantage of pick and roll situations for sure. So I think RJ is definitely going to be a deciding factor of this game for sure. The next matchup we're going to get into is Caleb Love versus either Dariq Whitehead or Tyrese Proctor. Now we say or because I'm not even sure if Dariq Whitehead is going to play. If he does, he's a tall, strong shooting guard. He's athletic. He's another guy that's like, he can make shots if he gets hot, but for the most part he's looking to slash, and it'll be definitely a tough task for Caleb. This guy's supposed to be a one and done NBA type talent. Granted, he's been injured, so I'm not sure if his same explosion is there. However, if it's not Dariq Whitehead, then it'll be Tyrese Proctor that Caleb is likely matched up with, and he's actually been kind of an improvement. I think he's a decent shooter. He's better at slashing as well. He likes to pull up similar to RJ, but he's a bit taller, and he's a good lead man. He makes good passes. So it'll be interesting to see which of those guys shows up and how Caleb Love handles one or both of them. The next matchup we're going to get into is Leaky Black versus Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell, I believe he is 6'8", 6'9", small forward / power forward. He's a floor runner. He's strong. He's a lefty. He has a bit of an awkwardness in his movement. He can make some shots, but again, he's not. We need to keep him out of the paint. So most of you guys, we're gonna have a consistent theme of keeping them out of the paint. And Mark's no different. He's a slasher though. He moves well without the ball, and he's just always hustling. So he'll definitely go for the rebound. So it'll be very important for Leaky to stay in front of him, keep him out of the paint, and then also box out. Make sure he's not getting offensive rebounds, making sure that he's not getting rebounds in general, and then make sure that he's not running the floor. He's not the strongest player, so even though he has a good frame, he's easy to bother. So as long as we put a little body on him, he'll miss shots. So it'll be important for Leaky to step up and man up. I think this will be one of the more physical matchups that Leaky has. Next up is maybe one of the top 2 most important matchups, which will be Pete Nance versus Kyle Filipinowski. Sorry if I didn't say that correctly. So yeah, and as well as a matchup with someone familiar for Pete, Mr. Ryan Young, a former teammate from Northwestern. Briefly on Ryan Young, basically he's just a hustle player. He's a smart guy. He does a lot of dirty work for them, so we can't afford to let him bother us, getting us in foul trouble and stuff, and keeping him out of the paint. But most importantly, Kyle is the guy that we need to watch. They play a lot through him. He's a shot maker, one of those good stretch fours, so he'll definitely step out on pick and pops. So we need to really watch how we're running that pick and pop, as well as making sure that he's not running the floor. He's not super athletic, but he just moves the right way. He gets to the right spots. He cuts, as you can see here, to get dunks. So it'll be important for Pete to, one, be able to match up with Proctor and Roach on the pick and rolls, but also getting back and recovering on Kyle to make sure that he's just not using his footwork and his hands to make these baskets. He's a very skilled player, and they do a lot of their offense through him. I'm not going to spend too much time on Baycott versus Lively. The thing to know is Lively's tall, he's athletic, he likes to do putbacks, they like to lob to him. Other than that, Baycott has the advantage here. He should focus on getting Lively in foul trouble, and I think he'll have the ability to do that because of his load. Otherwise, Lively is athletic, so Baycott just has to be smart. So one thing that Schyers does that's very similar to coachK is he loves to run torrents. Here you're going to see they're going to fake to this shooter right here and actually going to just slip back door and get an easy shot. So he likes to do a lot of that slick stuff like that. So very tricky. Here they fake a back door. The point guard runs through, and then they go into a pick and roll situation. That pick and roll turns into a pass to Filipinowski, and then he's gonna fake a handoff there, and then not to get the handoff right into a pick and roll, a pick and pop, so that he can try to get the 3. So they look to attack. They're looking to attack the middle, and then once they don't get what they want, they keep attacking by driving. So they don't force shots. They will shoot it, but they don't force it. They're actually looking for post passes, and they're looking to get the ball in the lane. And you'll see this a lot too, a pick and roll situation, so that Roach and Proctor can shoot from the foul line. 2 very important keys to this game will be, 1, to stop them from getting out into transition, and 2, from stopping them from getting offensive rebounds. Both of those things show that they are a hard-working team. They're not super fast, they're not super athletic, but they just push and they work hard. They run to the spots. They like to try their best to get to their spots, and they go after loose balls. And so they push the pace a lot, and it'll be important for us to, 1, to stop that transition, but like I said as well, stop them from getting offensive rebounds. I think they are the top team in the ACC for offensive rebounds, and so it'll be very important for Baycott and everyone else to stop them from playing their game. So now we see a diamond set or a little T game where they want to run this guy off this curl here, get him into the lane and score, or hit for an alley-oop. They don't get it. So then they want to look for a post pass, and they do a good job of keeping him out of that circle where they actually want to catch the ball. They want to force feed the ball to Kyle here so that he can work off. And you see 13 run back there for a backdoor. So Schyers is sneaky, he has a lot of these sneaky type of plays, pick and roll situation. And and this goes back to what I said, you got to get the offensive rebounds with them because they're looking to get the ball back, and anytime the ball goes inside, whether it's an offensive rebound or a post pass, good things come out of it. And we'll slow it down and talk through this again. Schyers loves to play through Kyle. 2 things they like to do. They love to get him back screens to get to the post. especially on the left side. He likes to post up on the left side. Wake does a great job of double teaming, get the ball out of his hands quick. This would be a 3-point shot if Wake wouldn't have dictated that. However, they did an awesome job. But that's one thing as a coach, even though they're not getting anything out of it right away, that you want to know what they're looking for, what they're doing. And they're patient, and they also have discipline. So no matter if they don't get what they want initially, they get the ball where they still want it to go from the start of that play. And a little flop there, but they get the ball in their guy's hand and he scores. So what's important to know is that they love playing through Kyle, they love getting into his left side, and they love getting Roach and Proctor to the middle of the lane to shoot from the free throw line. Here you see another back screen. Where does he go? Of course, to the left side. And so even though they don't get anything out of this play, it's important to see what they want to get out of it. So now we're going to see a decoy transition play here. Kyle's going to flash back up. Usually it would be a dribble handoff, and then that point guard would set a screen or do a backdoor. However, instead of having the play action where the circle is, we get a curl off of a screen that is unexpected for the defense, and he's going to score. So we're going to see the same as that play, literally the next play down the floor. However, in this time, you'll see how open that guy was because he scored off it. So he's going to come up, slow motion here, fakes the dribble handoff. Those two guards on the left make play action. However, it's a screen again. Now they're used to it, so they thought Kyle's going to keep it, but instead he's wide open for Young to get the pass. So that's how they play through Kyle. It's a good set, good movement. So in this play action, you see Roach has the circle here. He's looking for the ball. So they're going to fake the ball to Kyle here to look like they're playing through him again for a pick and pop situation. It's going to go into a dribble handoff to Roach, and he's going to attack middle. Now we're going to see that same as that play coming here in a second, except this time he's going to attack baseline. And it's right back to back. It's only 30 seconds later. So they run those same plays. So Kyle's attacking from the right side, pick and pop, gets the ball, dribble handoff. Now Roach goes back baseline. So it's a lot of things we got to work for, got to look at with their main guys, and if we can stop them. Let's look at a couple of our problems, which is a lot of just stagnant offense. First, you get the post pass, and there's no split to post. Pete should come down, set a screen on Caleb's man so that Caleb can redirect into the open space there, or so that he can cut and Baycott can give him an easier pass. However, we get neither one, and they're easily able to double team Baycott, which of course is what you want to do when you got a guy like Baycott, is double team him and get the ball out of his hands or make him take tough shots. Now here we have a terribly executed fast break. Leaky has all that space. For some reason he just stops, and then you're playing with RJ Davis, so even if he doesn't make the pass, he's going to stop and pop. Why did Leaky go into the corner there instead of crashing the boards right away or continuing to cut? It just doesn't make sense. So both of these are just little things where it's like, okay, we just gave up easy baskets. Here we go through our offensive set. We do everything right. We got pick and roll here. Nothing there. He sets a screen so that Caleb can come up and get the ball. No jump shot, no problem. Looking for Baycott. Okay, he pushes Leaky through so he can make a better angle for Baycott. There's a double team, so he doesn't make it, no problem. Now here's one issue. We could run a screen there for the baseline and then get Baycott open, but okay, instead we go high middle, and everything's just always through middle. And then you look at our wings. Don't watch the ball. You don't always get that open. What does Caleb do? Caleb just stops. Him and RJ are just standing on top of each other. What was Leaky's purpose there? Where was he supposed to go? There's no more screens. There's no bad screen from Baycott there. There's all these options that we could have. Luckily, Pete scored, but that's not the best offense. It was just a one-on-one that took a lot of time. And then running that last clip back, imagine if Caleb continues to attack this space and Jalen has set a back screen there for RJ. There would have been a nice movement for RJ to step into a nice jumper. You see what I'm saying? And the last improvement that we got to make is we just have to have some type of execution. This is great ball movement. Caleb passes up a shot, passes up a second shot and drive, and then we're wide open. There's no excuse, we have to make these, especially against Duke, so got to make them pay. All right, so let's get into a few of these questions, and they all kind of have the same response. Who do you predict will be a factor the most? Tell me if Caleb will excel like he normally does, against Dookie and a breakdown why he will not. And my answer is Caleb Love, and the reason is because this is an emotional game, and frankly, we just need him to be Caleb Love to win this game, in my opinion. Love normally plays well. Hope we stomp them. I want to see how Nance defends their bigs. And I agree. I think it'll be very important for Nance, especially if he's on that matchup with Kyle. If he's on Lively, it'll be interesting. But yeah. And then of the bench players, who do you think will have the biggest impact? This is one of the hardest questions. This is a great question, and it's a question we need to answer because we don't know who will play game to game, to be honest. So it could be Trimble, could be Dunn, it could be Nickel, but I think one of those three if I had to guess. And if I'm forced to pick, I'm gonna say Tyler Nickel's gonna step up. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and this was East Nose, so let's go get this win on Saturday. Go Tar Heel Nation.